Okay. Oh, do I? Okay. Okay. Can y'all hear us? Is everyone here? What's going on, everyone? Happy birthday, Theresa!
Happy birthday, Theresa!
Yay!
We can't tell if you can hear us.
Yeah, chat just kind of like peaced out and stopped moving. Like, nope, not gonna. Just crickets.
And StreamYard does not say it's connected to chat. It shows no one in it.
Oh no!
Wait, Robert can hear us.
Yay!
Woo, okay. Thanks. I'm like, we're
Woo.
flying blind back here. We just going it alone.
We hear you sometimes. Oh no. Oh, hopefully we're.
Welcome
Oh.
to your maybe not that great of a stream.
But it's for you, Nikki, or what, Theresa. Oh my God,
Great,
I'm
that's it. You're out of here,
I'm out.
Mousy.
I done messed it up. I'm all sitting here like doing two things at once. Like, what am I doing? Theresa, it's your birthday. Nikki can just go.
Now it's
Oh
time to
no.
sing happy birthday.
Who else wants to come up here? They can sing.
We're going to sing it later in private.
Yeah, there we go. And no one can record that and sue us.
That is a public domain song now, isn't it? We
You
can't
know,
even use that excuse.
no, you know what? I don't think it is.
Oh,
I think
see,
the
we would get copyright struck. Shoot. No singing.
Okay, see, Reverend Rund already. He already did the happy birthday song. See, we've got that covered. We just got to find the cake now.
Thanks for singing, Reverend Ruin.
Yeah, he saved us.
I mean, I'll sing all day long. No one wants to hear it, but I'll do it.
Yeah. I haven't sang in ever. So yeah, no one wants to. No, no one wants to hear that.
I thought you could sing it publicly now, Theresa. I don't know. Was I supposed to save some cake? We've got more. We've got more.
Oh boy, I got the giggles already.
What, did
See,
you
look
already
at
get
that.
into the wine or Grace's Everclear?
Oh no. I was gonna hit the rum earlier, but I was like, man, that might be a bad idea too.
Yep. I always do that. I'm like, I should have a drink. And then I'm like, not on the internet.
Yeah, that always goes horribly wrong, like real quick.
Nikki's in the phone.
Oh, see, I was gonna make Nikki, not Nikki. There's Nikki. Nikki's in the phone. Okay, there's Nikki. I was gonna make Teresa this pretty princess cake, right? And I got to thinking about it, and I was like, man, I haven't baked in a really long time. Juju, you don't understand how long it's been since I have made a birthday cake. So I got to thinking about it, and if I had made this birthday cake, you want to see what it would have looked like?
Yep.
Okay, let me show you
But I
what
believe
the
you're a
birthday.
good baker.
I'm a good baker. I'm just not a good decorator. But see, had I made a birthday cake, had I really tried, right? This is what would have happened. Oh, why did my screen freeze? Okay, there we go. Come
Maybe
on.
we shouldn't see it. But StreamYard's like, no, don't
No,
show.
don't show it. Don't do it. But see, this is what the pretty princess birthday cake would have probably came out to look like. Yeah, that would have been the cake. That's what would have happened.
Hey,
So
it's the try
you
that
know,
counts.
yes. And then I was
See?
like, well,
They're
you
into
could have made
it.
a
Dragon
castle
Mouth.
cake, but
Let's eat it.
I mean, she, it's very Picasso like of a pretty princess cake. So yeah, but then I was thinking about it. I was like, we could have made a, a castle cake, right? But those sometimes don't always come out all that great either, and sometimes you end up with something like this. So you have to be careful when you're making those castle cakes because where's the screen share? I should have already had this pulled up. But then you could also end up with something, kind of like this. And then everyone's going to wonder about you for a very long time. And then you just have to be like, what did I do? Like what
But
happened?
a little bit, that's what everyone wants on their birthday, isn't it?
Unless, you're under the age of 18, yes. Then you don't then only the parents are going to be walking out with that cake. They're going to be like, "No, honey, you can't have this one. This one's for mommy." So, yeah. So, you really got to watch these tower castle cakes cuz sometimes they just don't come out right. But if you want to see a really pretty cake, I'm going to show you a really pretty cake because this cake was pretty badass. And I was like kind of jealous that I didn't get a piece of it. So, let me find this one real quick. And uh yeah, there we go. Hang on one second. Let me find this pretty cake. I was like, man, I want a piece of this cake. So yeah.
You didn't want a piece of that last
Um.
cake.
Well, yeah, it's. I'm
It is
trying to like.
Teresa's birthday.
Yes, it is Teresa's birthday. This stream is dedicated to Teresa, and I'm trying to figure out how to do this without. Ah, come on. Um. Hmm. Maybe I can my screen share thing is like or not my screen share, but it's not like load like come on. I'm having technical difficulties today. It is just not working out for me. Okay, let me try this again. Okay. Hmm.
Look at my chat as one exclamation point. I hit enter a little too early, everybody.
Oh man, I'm trying to show this, but I'm trying to like cut out names around it so that maybe I can screen grab it and then block it out real quick. Um, okay, this is not working the way I want it to work. Instagram, why are you being this way?
That's Instagram for you.
Ah, that is Instagram for you. Oh man. Hey, Teresa, do me a favor. Can you send me that picture over on the Discord real quick? I don't know how I'm going to do that either. I don't know. I didn't think that through either because I'm not logged into that on my computer. Oops, never mind. Don't do that. That's not going to work either. Ah,
I can do it.
okay, you do it.
Wait,
I
what am I
will
doing?
let you
Looking for
share that
Teresa's
picture.
birthday cake?
Pineapple, yes. Her cake that she had because I
Here, I'm
really
just
am
gonna
quite
send it to
quite
you.
jealous of you. Okay.
I know. Her whole meal. I made pizza because Teresa made pizza. And she sent me a picture of it and I was like, that looks amazing.
I know. I saw her pizza and I was like, man, I want pizza now too.
Did you see her cheese bread? Guys,
Oh yeah, that was
Teresa's a
freaking yeah.
crazy good cook, and I've never even tasted her food. So maybe I should just say she's an aesthetically pleasing cook. Like her food looks fantastic.
Very very aesthetically pleasing. Okay, there we go. Where am I doing here? Okay, now I'm going to have to reteach myself how to screen share again because I just apparently forgot. Okay, and yes, yeah, this cake, that is a beautiful cake. Way better than anything I would have made.
It doesn't look real. I mean, doesn't it look like a magazine ad or something? It
Yes,
looks.
it looks like you would see in the actual in the cookbook.
Also, Teresa, were you nervous flipping over a cake that big? I would have been.
Yes, I would have been like, no, I'm not flipping that thing. Someone else
I
got to
guess you
do it.
just have to go at it confidently. Like all things in life.
We're just gonna put that little comment on the screen for a minute. But see, that is a beautiful cake. When my kids were little, I used to make really great birthday cakes for them. You know, like I would watch the little tutorials on how to make like a Blue's Clues paw print and stuff. But that was like 17 years ago. And it's probably been 10 since I've made an actual birthday cake. So, yeah.
I just get an ice cream cake every year. And I have this memory that of a cake from my childhood that I know is false. At least I'm pretty sure it's false. But the way I remember it is awesome. So I'm like, I'm glad I switched that memory. So my memory is I had an ice cream cake and it was a rainbow with like a cloud on one end, but it was standing up.
Really?
Yeah. I do not think that is real. like they probably tilted the tray so I could look at it. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
platter was on. But in my mind, I'm like, no, that it was like an actual rainbow standing up.
And like I have seen like the rainbow cakes that you can stand up, but never one in ice cream.
I know. And
Like,
like every time, I mean, I don't know. At some point in my 30s, I think I was like, that's probably, I don't think that happened. I mean, the rainbow cake happened, but I don't think it was standing up as I recall.
yeah.
So, whatever. It still looks awesome in my memory.
Well, see, at least you have a good memory of it. Because, okay, now, my parents, I love my parents, right? And they always, okay, it's getting around the time of the year that if you have a birthday between now and January, you're kind of getting screwed, right? Because Christmas, right?
Do you know Christmas is one of the days of the year with the least number of birthdays?
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah. Christmas, Christmas Eve, New Year's Day is at the bottom of the list for birthdays.
Hmm. That is interesting. You know what? I'm really glad that it is like the lowest number because my birthday is in January, okay? And it's like early on in January. So, my parents were always like, "Oh no, we just spent all this money on you on Christmas. So, yeah, I'll just bake you a cake." My mom finally started baking me cakes for my birthday when I was like 12 and I was like, "How come I never get a birthday cake?"
That's so sad.
Like one day I just asked, I was like, "Hey, it's my birthday. Can I have a cake?" And my mom's like, "Huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, I never get one." And then she kind of felt bad about it. And then, but then she would also use that as a bribe too. She'd be like, "Hey, hey, you know what? If you come home, I'll make you your cake."
Now, my mom always made my brother his birthday cake, like handmade. And she always bought mine. And sometimes I would be like, I'm offended my mom doesn't like hand make my birthday cake. And then every time She would ask me what kind of birthday cake I wanted. I'd be like, Dairy Queen ice cream cake, please.
Yeah, it's like, well, you know what? She could have been like, "Hey, I'm gonna go get a part-time job at Dairy Queen so I can make your cake."
She was like, that's really what you want out of like all the cakes in the world. I'm like, I love that cookie in the center of it and
Yeah,
the fudge.
that fudgy cookie crumble stuff.
Yeah, what is that? They should sell that at the local grocery store.
Oh, absolutely. Or just as like a blizzard filling.
Uh, yes. I did think about that because this is how I eat the ice cream cake. I eat all of the vanilla, then I eat all of the chocolate, and then I just eat the fudge and the cookie separate.
You
I
eat
save
it
it
in.
for last.
I'm more of a just dive right in person. I'm just gonna attack the cake.
I'm not. It is methodical how I approach that ice cream cake.
And you know what? It in your brain, it probably tricks your brain into thinking you're getting more.
No, it's just I like that center stuff so much. I don't want it like tainted with the ice cream, which is also delicious. But I'm like, I just want cookie, crumble, fudgy stuff. Like if they just served that,
That that would be a seller right there.
I know it's actually just gross to think about. Like getting a plate of that, you're like, that's disgusting. Let's mask that with ice cream.
Yeah, it's like we got to cover that with just a little bit of ice cream there.
That's my favorite, though. I love it. And I only get it once a year on my birthday. And I mean, those Dairy Queen ice cream cakes last a long time. So I'm
Yeah.
a grown adult who still gets like, I would say the cheapest cake, but I mean, you know, they're expensive.
Yeah, they are. We have a place called Brewster's around here, right? And it's an ice cream store, but it's actually like ice cream, not soft serve or the custard or whatever. It's just ice cream, and they make it in store like every day. They make fresh ice cream, and they make birthday cakes, and just the smallest birthday cake they have is like $25.
I know.
But it's got like three flavors of ice cream in it. So it's just like, and some of these combinations I've heard ordered are just kind of weird. It's like strawberry, mint, and then like peach. It's
Oh,
like that
that's
does not go together.
no. I would be very upset if that showed up in my ice cream cake.
I know, I would be like, was this a joke? Do you not like me?
Although, I mean, that mint would be good.
Yeah. I mean, if they put the strawberry and peach together, maybe you can separate it out, but I don't know.
But for my birthday cake, I want the cheap Dairy Queen. And for I have to eat that gross frosting first. You know, you can't just slice it off and set it aside. You have to eat it.
Yeah. It's the frozen buttercream.
And I always let them like choose whatever color to give me. So sometimes you like really lose on that front because they'll be like, here's blue. And you're like, darn it. That stained so bad. But that's kind of the fun of it. It's like the little birthday cake lotto I play. I'm like, come on, a color that doesn't like it destroy things.
Speaking of blue frosting, I have a story on this one, and this is funny. Okay, so my husband, he just left his job of 15 years to start a new one. And I think this was like the second year he was at his last job. And his coworker found out it was his birthday and got him some cupcakes, right? But they all had this really bright blue frosting on them.
Oh no.
And everyone in the office ate one, and they noticed that it stained not only their lips but their teeth blue and like blue green, because I guess it had like a green undertone.
Ugh.
And so they sent the rest of them home with my husband. And he brings them home, and the kids are like, "Oh heck yeah, we got cupcakes!" So he lets them all have like all the kids in the house have like two cupcakes and finish them off, right? And then the next morning, one of my kids, the youngest one, is freaking out because it stained everything blue.
Do you remember those tabs they would have you chew when you were little
Hmm.
that like dyed your mouth red and it would show like where you didn't brush your teeth?
Yeah, I do remember those.
But then
Those were
even when you
awful.
brushed your teeth, it like
You
didn't
couldn't get
take
it
the
off.
red away. And you
It was
always had that like terrible panic like your kid had where you're like, oh no, it's like this forever.
yeah. Grace got it. It was bad because it had this. I guess it was like this green undertone to it, and it did. Man, my kid was freaking out, and they didn't understand. And then I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna happen to all of them, and
That's
it
how
did.
you can test how efficient your digestive tract is.
Well, it did, and it ran like straight through them, and it was it was not funny. I was like, man, and now and then I was like, oh my god, so your coworkers are gonna have to deal with that too.
I wonder how many people thought they were sick.
Well, the coworker that got the cake was not allowed to buy the cakes anymore because apparently that wasn't the first time she'd done something like that. Oh, I think
Look
it
at
was like a
Teresa, the birthday girl. I remember those, but my teeth were always clean. Well, good on you, Teresa. No, I'm kidding. I
oh
always
man,
had some weird red spot on my teeth.
yeah, it's like you could never scrub it off. It was like always there.
Oh my
Oh, I didn't even
Grace
say
just
hello to
said,
everyone.
Grace just said too much grape soda does that to you too.
And Mrs. Cassandra said that Crunch Berries does it.
What? Really? I thought crunch berries were like red and purple.
Maybe it's the purple ones. And well, no, some of the Crunch Berries do have a blue one in it now. It has a blueberry in it.
And the grape soda does it? Oh my god. See, that would scare me because I wouldn't realize grape soda did that. Although I don't like grape soda, so I would not encounter that issue. But oh, that's hilarious. Why does grape soda do it? Is it the purple food coloring?
It's gotta be. It's gotta be something in it. I know like too many of a certain vitamin will also do that, but I don't know remember which one because one of my cousins ate like a whole bottle of Flintstones once.
I did that when I was little too, and I got in big trouble.
Oh man, yeah, my cousin. Okay, so he was actually my second cousin that did it because my family. I'm like the youngest out of five kids, and like my parents were almost 50 when they had me, right? So my cousins that were my age were actually my second cousins. So I remember my cousin freaking out, having to take her son to the hospital because he just sat there and ate a whole bottle of Flintstones like they were candy.
I did it when my mom was taking a nap. She was furious. Okay, I just I just looked up green poop.
Oh no.
And listen what causes it. It may be caused by a diet. Okay, obviously. Green leafy vegetables. Yeah, we don't care about all that. Taking antibiotics, overuse of laxatives.
Really?
Who knew?
But no food coloring, huh?
It did say food coloring
Oh,
after it
did it?
listed like vegetables and stuff first, like kale, spinach, broccoli, blueberries, eating foods with coloring that cannot be digested. I really feel like you should have led with that one.
Yeah, that should have been number one. Like, first off, yep, the laundry's done again. Wednesday is actually my laundry day too. And I try to get it done before my stream, but it never happens. Oh,
Agreed.
because I remember this happened last week too.
I like it. You're like the multitasking.
It's like laundry. It's like after this is dishes time.
Hey, I was listening to some stream the other day and the person had their dryer going. That's life.
I am checking that now, Teresa. I'm gonna. Yeah. Where did I put my phone?
We are talking about poop on our birthday. We're like, happy birthday. Here's what causes different color feces. You're welcome.
Well, hopefully no one ate anything today that's gonna do that to them.
Oh my gosh, Grace has I never thought of that. She goes, every time EKC drinks the grape soda, I wonder about her poop. And now all of us will too.
They are right. There is a blueberry in the Now I have to figure out how to get onto Discord on my computer. There is a blueberry in the crunch berries. Let's see if I can pull this up real quick.
There's,
I'm
oh my
probably
gosh. Blue Kool-Aid too. I never thought about any of these things. There's so much dyed blue food out there.
Oh my god.
Or like blue Gatorade or blue Powerade.
Oh, hey Sean. Hey everyone. I didn't even tell everyone hello when I came in. I don't think. And if, yeah, like I'm just so scatterbrained today. It's green because of all those berries. Oh my goodness. Yeah, see,
Every time I see something blue, you know it's weird. Actually, I was driving down the street the other day and I had to stop at a stop sign, and there was like a 44-ounce gas station cup sitting on the sidewalk filled with blue liquid. It was like 10 o'clock at night too. I'm like, that's weird. There's like a fluorescent blue drink over there.
oh no.
It was just sitting there. No one was around. And in the middle of a neighborhood. So I mean, someone just abandoned their beverage.
They're just like that's such a waste.
Maybe someone told them what was going to happen later.
They were like, yeah, you don't want to drink all that.
They just bowed out. Let's leave this here.
Oh yeah. When I was in high school, we actually used to do that. We used to dye our hair with Kool-Aid. Because we couldn't afford, it's like once you bought the bleach to like bleach your hair so you could color it the abnormal color, then you had to actually go buy the dye, and it's like, well, I done spent my whole allowance. It's like I can't afford the dye too.
My mom used to help me do it with Kool-Aid. And one time I had a teacher do that, like disgusted. Does your mom know you did that? I mean, it's the hair on my head. Of course she knows. And I was like, yeah, my mom helped me do it last night.
um, so I was in cosmetology in high school, and it was my 10th grade year. And I went to school that morning with brown hair, and by lunchtime, my hair was blue. And the vice principal saw me, and she was like, "You didn't come to school like that this morning. Where did you do that?" I was like, "Well, we finished it in the bathroom about 10 minutes ago."
Did you guys trash the bathroom doing that?
No, actually, we did not make that big of a mess. The sink was stained, yes, I will say that. But we didn't quite get to finish everything in the 2-hour cosmetology class. So I was like, I can't walk around like this. So we just finished it at lunch.
Yeah. Well, if you get rained on with that Kool-Aid in your hair, though, it was a terrible mess.
Yes, it was. It was clothes were ruined.
Yeah.
Like it was nothing was ever going to be the same. Your skin was going to be dyed for like a week. That just those were the days. Checking the weather forecast.
See, Bliss Chris did it right. Just did the ends. I should have. I needed you in my life back then, Bliss Chris.
Exactly. I made some very unwise hair choices back in the day.
I've always colored my hair, though.
Yeah, I think I was like in 6th grade when I started coloring mine. Teachers were like, "Did like, is that permanent?" It's like some of it is.
Do not put Coke in your hair. It will be sticky and gross.
Or Fago. Oh my gosh, Fago. That stuff is like stickier than glue. There's some concerts you can go to that they actually throw the stuff into crowds, and it's like, oh man, you just you don't want to get hit with one of those 2 liters because they throw the whole 2 liter bottle out in the crowd. I'm like, that's dangerous.
Dangerous for your skin.
Hmm.
Therese. Were you scared the whole time, Theresa? She said when she was 12, her mom dyed her hair and told her it was going to be green.
Oh,
It wasn't, but she thought it was funny. I think I would have liked it.
my mom used to like do stuff like that to me. It was funny because she was picking on me, but and she was kind of mad, but it was kind of like a joke too. Like I got my nose pierced. Your nose is gonna fall off. She always told me that. Like she's like, you need to take that out because your nose is gonna fall off. I'm like, no, it's not. I the first time I bleached my hair blonde, she was like, it's gonna turn red, and she apparently she had done that to her hair when she was in high school, and it her hair actually did turn bright orange.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta be
Yeah,
careful with those, with the color.
yeah, because you can end up with some crazy colors going on.
It turned out very red. Ugh.
Oh man, yeah.
You know what? I have a lot of gray now, like mostly gray. But when I color my hair, it looks like I got highlights, and I'm like, beautiful. Thanks, gray hair.
Yeah, my hair is like slowly like getting more and more gray, and I'm to the point where I'm just gonna like cut the rest of the color out and just rock the gray for a while.
Man, kudos to you. I keep trying it, and then I'm like, that's real gray. And my gray is like that silver white gray, where you're like, I don't feel like I should be there for like another 20, 30 years. But I'm already at that stage. And then I was out to like, I was with my friends at a bar one night, and I'm like, I don't know, I keep trying to rock this gray. And somebody goes, it's very gray. I was like, it's getting colored. Okay. That decision's made. And they weren't being mean or anything. They were like, it is very gray.
And see, like I'm trying to wait and kind of see where I'm gonna fall on that gray spectrum because my dad had that silver blue gray hair, right? And my mom had the little old lady pink hair. So I'm like, I'm hoping for the pink side. Like,
See, I mean,
turn pink,
what I
turn
have is
pink.
like really pretty, but I'm like, I'm too young for this. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like it really, I have fallen into like society's stereotypes, and I'm like, no, this does make me look old.
Oh. I feel old, so that's why I'm like, I'm just gonna rock the gray because this is how I feel right now. Yeah, see, I'm hoping I either get the Marge Simpson blue hair or the little old lady pink hair. And
See, and now I have enough gray. I can't color my hair dark anymore. Like I have to do the blonde because it like when you do it dark, you're like, well, I can already see the gray, and I colored it 2 days ago.
mhm. See, this party's going all over the place, Grace Case.
Your dad still barely has any gray hair. Man, I've been gray forever, but now I'm like, I don't know. In the last 5 or 6 years, my hair was like, you thought you were gray. You ain't seen nothing.
Like you ain't seen nothing yet, lady.
Well, and I have the big streaks. Like, why do you gray around your face first?
I don't. I honestly don't know. I think, well, in my case, it's like that's where it's growing out first, is that area, because I keep like half of my head shaved anyway.
Yeah,
Everyone's
but
gonna be
like
like,
the hair
oh,
at like the nape of my neck is like, there's a few grays in there, but like get up like around my face, and that's like all gray.
yeah. And see, I don't even remember how my parents went gray, and like Grace and Mrs. C are like talking about how their dads, don't. I don't ever remember my dad not being gray. When I was born, he had already gone gray. So I'm like, I don't even know what his real hair color was. I never saw it. It's like, so, I knew I was gonna go gray early, and I started going gray at like 23,
Yeah, I did too.
and it was like there was nothing I could do to stop it. My mom was 11 years younger than my dad, but she went gray early too, and that was probably because she had like 5 kids. So it's like we all stressed her the hell out.
My brother got like, I don't know, went through something. He was like, it turned my hair gray. And I was like, no, your age turned your hair gray. Like, why are you so shocked that you're gray? And he's like, I don't know. I think it was this terrible experience. I'm like, okay, well, go on believing that.
Now I do believe that some stress can totally make that stuff start going gray, because like like I think I found my first gray, like a single gray hair, between the time I was 17 and before I was like 23, when I found a whole bunch more of them. By like 23, I could count at least 10 or 12 of them. So
Yeah,
yeah,
because my mom said to me, she goes, I grayed early too, but she always colored her hair.
yeah, and I've seen people like Mrs. C said, go for that gray hair, and it's like, man, just calm down. You'll get there. You will get there. You don't have to pay
Right?
for it.
That's what I always say. Like, a little bit, you want to like smack someone who says that. Like a 25-year-old is like, I can't wait to go gray. And I'm like, really? Get out of here.
It's like you say that now. You say that now.
And I mean, I do love that like more women are going natural with their hair because it is a lot of upkeep, but I can't do it.
Yeah. I just I got tired of like dyeing my hair though. It was like, I just it was like I had too much other things going on to where I was just like, finally, like last year, I just stopped dyeing it anymore. I was like, we're just gonna see how this goes. We're just gonna ride this one out.
Well, I keep trying to do that. And then I get like an inch or two and I'm like, no, I can't do it. I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like it. And then I color it again. And then I'm like, okay, no, just grow it out. And I panic every time. I'm like, it's too much. It's too much gray.
It's like let's just we'll do it later. We'll do it later.
Well, and then I was dating this guy and he goes, well, I have more gray hair than you. And I was like, I color my hair, dum dum. What are you? I'm sure that you've called me and I've been like, I can't go do that. I'm coloring my hair right now. And he's like, you do? I'm like, it doesn't even look like a natural color. Or maybe I do that good of a job. Thank you. So I did kind of take that as a compliment.
Yeah. And even when you know, John's comment right here, about that, about being too lazy to deal with it. And it's like it's not even that I got like lazy with it or anything, but it's like my hair is so thick that even though I shave half of it off, I was still having to use 3 boxes of dye.
See, I mix my own. My brother was married to a hairdresser, though, so.
Well, and or if I go to Sally's and you buy the developer and the little bottles of dye and stuff, it's just I have to buy so much of it. It's like this is expensive.
I just do my roots, so it doesn't take much. Like, I do my roots every 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, see that yeah, no. If I was just doing the roots, it would be like no, can't. Oh
I'm
man.
like, it used to be like, it's kind of fun, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like when I had time and like when I actually before I started feeling like horrible, I would get into it and do like a whole day of it and stuff, and then I was like, man, I can't see anything in the mirror anymore. I can't like tilt my head this way. Having to get the kids to come in there and help, and then they're like trying to like, can we shave some more of your hair off? And I'm like, no, you can't. But we want to give you a mohawk. I am not doing that.
No, thank you.
It's like we are not playing with the clippers this time. Thank you very much. Oh man, that would have been badass with the black, blue, and silver.
Yeah. See, I want to go dark again because I always like that I look good blonde and I look good with like dark hair. So I like that when you got bored or whatever, I could just be like, let's go with cherry cola. That was always my favorite. But now
Yeah,
it's too gray for that. because you see those people with gray hair and you're like, listen, you've got to go with a lighter dye. Like day 3, I can see your roots.
yeah,
Not only can I see them, but my eyes are drawn to them immediately.
yeah. I just and that's part of it too. It's like when all of your hair is gray, it's like you're trying to cover it, and it's like, man. Oh, I like the way Emily Baker's hair, looks too.
Well, and she does hers wisely because she lets her gray like shine through too. So when it like grows out and washes out, it still doesn't look like a bad dye job. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like if she was solid purple and then it was growing out, it would be really noticeable. But I like how it's like highlighted.
yeah, like in sections, kind of,
But
or a
every once
couple
in a
of
while,
shades
I
of
do
yeah.
think about like the floor of her shower. I'm like, I wonder if she has to like rinse out the shower after she gets out because that washes out every time.
Oh yeah, and it gets on your pillowcases and everything, like until um, it's usually like after the first week, it'll stop bleeding onto everything. It's such a pain in the butt too. It's like I've ruined so many pillows because of pink, purple, blue hair dye.
And I'm giving Bliss Chris an Elf on the Shelf idea.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Elf on the Shelf, I have a kid that is horrified of the elf. Like absolutely horrified of that elf on a shelf.
Really?
Yes, they are scared. I was joking around at the store one day, and I was like, "I'm gonna get one," and they were like, "Hell no!" And they took it and put it back on the shelf.
I mean, it is creepy, but I always liked the stories of, like, I always believed that my yes, Bliss Cruise at work. Woo! We gave her a good idea. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. I've got more ideas for you. Um, but no, when I was little, I always believed my toys came to life when I wasn't around, and I also believed animals could talk, and a little bit I still do.
I think my animals talk to each other.
Yes, I swear they do. Because when I had two cats, I would come home sometimes and they were very clearly having a meeting. Yeah, like Toy Story, John.
Mhm.
I'm certain of it. I know those toys. I believe it. And I like my mom read me Charlotte's Web when I was little. And, all those animals chatting it up in the barn.
Mhm. And those spiders, the little baby ones at the end were like, you got to take care of us
Wee.
now.
Wee. I like that. That movie makes me cry every time. The book, I just sob the whole time I read it. I love it though.
Yeah, I haven't watched that movie like in years. It's getting that time to start breaking it out with the little kids now in the house because they're getting at that age where I can start, putting on like the Charlotte's Web and they'll understand it now. So I'm like, yay!
I know. I've bought a copy for every single one of my friends' kids. I'm like, read this book. It's amazing. Do you want to read it with me? I'll read it with you. They're like, you need to calm down. Then they were, a couple of my friends were taking their kid when that movie came out in the theater, the most recent one. And I was
Oh,
like, can I go with you guys? And I was sitting by their kid, and of course I like start crying, and she was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I'm just reading this beautiful movie." I'm like, that friendship is so touching. She still laughs at me about it.
and see, this is why I hang around with kids because it's like no one looks at you odd if you like video games and kids movies and Disney movies and all this other stuff. If you got a whole bunch of kids with you, but if you're like just a 43-year-old woman going to see the newest Toy Story movie, they're gonna be like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah. We've got a creeper in here. We're gonna need to keep an eye on her.
Exactly. I don't want to be the creeper. I just like cartoons.
I know. Well, you should have seen all of them. When I was like, "Oh, you're going to see Charlotte's Web? Can I go?" They were like, "Why do you want to go see a kids movie?" I'm like, "That is a fantastic book."
Yeah, and see, yeah, like are some things that are like cool, like Charlotte's Web, like those are like timeless classics.
Well, and just a few weeks ago, my brother goes, "Hey, what's your favorite book?" And I started thinking about it, and I was like, "I think it's Charlotte's Web." And he goes, "I did not see that coming."
Like mine would have to be, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, I think it's like ones that you read when you're a kid that like stuck with you. Because
Yeah.
I remember my parents reading that book, and then I said, "Now I'm going to read it to you." And they sat there and let me read the whole book back to them.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's patience. Or, maybe they were like, "We'll just zone out for a bit. This is a delightful part of the day." We've got this talker occupied.
And see, I asked my husband this question once too, right? And I was like, "So what's your favorite book, one that you read and that you remember and everything?" And he's like, "Cujo." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, Cujo. It was the first Stephen King book he ever read."
Oh my gosh. I could tell. I remember Salem's Lot, and I read that when I was way too young to read it. And my parents, it was like right around when you start getting left at home alone. How old is that? Like 7, 6? 8. I don't know. But
Yeah, somewhere there. Because I think my husband was like 9 when he read Cujo.
yeah, so I was like, not, I should not have been reading this book. But when you grow up in a house full of readers, there's books everywhere. They like don't check what you're reading. They're just like, they've got a book. Good on them. And I like it was a woodsy area we grew up in, and my parents left for the evening, and I was reading in front of a dark window
Oh no.
about vampires. And I got so freaked out. I had to call the neighbor down the street, and I was like, listen, I need help.
Oh.
I mean, I think yeah, don't you start getting left at home at around 7 or 8? Like, not forever, not
Yeah,
for the
like
whole day, but like they start doing that, like,
like a latchkey kid. Yeah, I
things
think I
were
was like,
different than Theresa.
yeah, like when I was, yeah, because I was in second or third grade when I would get off the bus and my mom would be home like an hour and a half later.
Yeah, we walked to and from school. Like, I walked to school by myself in kindergarten and first grade.
And in Georgia now, you have to be 12 to leave. Your kids have to be 12 or older to be left alone, um, at all.
That's crazy because at 11 or 12, I babysat other kids.
Yeah, yeah. I started babysitting at 12, like babies.
Right.
So
Yeah, me too.
like little like my neighbor had two little kids, like a newborn and a 2 year old, and I started watching them when I was 12, 13. So yeah, things are a lot different now, late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, but we also, like, I mean, like, I knew I could call my neighbors because when I was scared from Salem's Lot, I was like, listen, Mr. Schulte, I need you to come get me. So he
Oh,
came and got me, and I was in my jammies already. And he came and got me, and he took me back to their house and let me, like, sit there till my parents got home.
oh,
I still remember that. And my parents were like, good job. Like, hey, you got scared. You called a safe adult.
like you did the right thing.
I was like, call the giant man down the street. He'll save me.
Oh man.
I can't believe. See, I think it sounds perfectly reasonable. I mean, they weren't like, it's 6 a.m. We're out of here for the day. But we also went outside and played all day without.
Yeah, without adult supervision.
Yeah.
You get out of school, go put your do your homework, and then go until the street lights came on.
We did not have streetlights, so you had to listen for my mom screaming in the front yard. And if you
Oh
did
no.
not come immediately, you were in pretty big trouble.
Yeah. If you were late getting home or you missed dinner, oh, it was over.
Yeah, we drank from the hose. And then we had certain houses we would like hit up for different food. Like, I was the Capri Sun house. And then we would go get sandwiches down like 2 doors down because they would always give us sandwiches. But they wouldn't let us inside very much. Like, we had to go in the back door to like use that bathroom. Like, we stayed outside all day. And if you had to get hosed off before you were allowed inside, you were like, today was amazing.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Oh, what Miss Cassandra just said. There was one time, okay, and then we'll shift to something else after this. But there was one time I had a minivan, and it was me and my husband, and our kids were asleep in the car, right? And one of our friends was in the third row of seating, right? So you could technically see the kids in the middle row, but you couldn't really see the way he was sitting. You couldn't see that he was in the car too. The car was running and locked, okay? So you should have known there was some way for someone to get in and out of that vehicle, right? And we're in there, and this woman's on the phone talking to. Apparently, she called the police, and she was talking about these kids being in a car. Right? We're not putting two and two together because someone is in the car with our kids, right? And it was on us. Yeah, for leaving our kids in our van with an adult. So when we go out, we're starting to get into our van. She runs out and she goes, "No, I've called the cops on you. They know I gave them your license plate number." So me and my husband, we waited. And then when the cops came and they opened the car and they see there's another, almost 30 something year old person in that vehicle that was there the whole time, the lady felt like a big idiot because he had been in that van the whole time. We didn't even get in the car. We just waited for him to get there. Because she said there was only two people in the car. So when the cops looked, there's like three people in the car, and they're like, "Yeah, you didn't do anything." I was like, "I know we didn't do anything," but yeah, like if there's adults within a certain, that know to look out for these little kids, like come on, like you know we had metal slides. Yes, I remember the metal slides too.
Yeah, and then what I just said, I'm like, and our playground was on asphalt too. Like there was no
Yeah, we didn't have any of that
cushioning.
that cushiony foam stuff they have now.
No, if you fell, you were just going down.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's like, I get if you really think someone has done something, but you need to make sure first that someone is in trouble before you go around doing the collie things. It's like, come on. But yeah, and it's so weird how different the playgrounds are though. Really, it is. The playgrounds, watching your younger brothers and sisters and stuff.
I actually did not realize the slides are not metal anymore. I mean, that does seem like a good upgrade.
The one thing I remember most about the metal slides is always getting burnt on though.
What about that giant dome thing? Like,
Oh, the jungle gym.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh man, those things, man. I can't tell you how many times I fell off of one of those.
I know. You know what's crazy? So, um, we lived like right by our school, so we could go up there and play when we wanted, or like stay after school and play. And then one of the kids in my neighborhood broke their elbow one day playing on the monkey bars after school, and it was a big deal. But then years later, I broke my elbow the same way, but I was rollerblading.
Oh, you broke your elbow. That just that that hurts. that hurts just thinking about that.
I broke the point off my elbow.
Ow.
Yeah. It does hurt a lot. Actually, right, something's wrong with it right now.
Oh,
It doesn't bend all the way or straighten all the way anymore. When you do that, they rush you right on into surgery.
I can imagine.
That's how you know it's bad. Like when people are like, "Yeah, I have to go to the specialist. I have an appointment in 3 weeks." I'm like, "You're good." Because when I went to the doctor and they X-rayed my elbow, he's like, "You have to go immediately, like right now."
Oh wow. Yeah, cuz and I you're right about that cuz the only other time like we've had something like that happen was when my husband dislocated his knee at the Ramones concert when we were 15, 14, 14. We were 14. And yeah, we kind of got like thrown into the whole chaos that was, you know, the middle of the floor. And he got stepped on, well, stomped on, and yeah, we got taken to the hospital, and they took him from the emergency room to surgery, like there, like we have to fix this now.
I know.
Oh no, not tonight, the back biscuits.
Oh no. What did you do, Grace Case? That sounds like punishment. John, you fractured your jaw?
Oh,
Oh, holy cow. That sounds awful.
oh yeah.
Were they those wooden clogs? I picture those Dr. Scholl's shoes. Dr. Scholl's shoes? Man.
You know, I feel like I should have known that it was like the early 2000s when the slides went plastic. Yeah, let me see if I can pull that little spider video up, and we'll give that a little watch for Theresa.
Oh
That's
no, John, you were a little kid with a wired shut jaw.
oh,
That just makes me want to like
that just seems like it's
scoop you up.
painful.
Like that had
Like
to be
little hugs.
terrible. Also, that is a terrible injury because that you don't see that coming. Just all of a sudden, poof.
Yeah, just out of nowhere. Like it's like kid down.
Yeah.
Ah.
Damn, Mrs. Cassandra. Oh no. Did you get good milkshakes? I bet they spoiled you for that.
Okay, let's see if we can. Let me get this ready to where I can pause it at the strategic moment. And yeah, this is probably gonna creep everyone out.
You're showing us a spider?
Oh, it's a spider video. Nikki sent it to me for Theresa, and I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna take the chance. We're gonna show the little video, and then yeah. It won't let me. Okay, hang on one second. Let me get ready to share this. Okay, we are gonna share this cute little video. It's kind of cute. It's kind of scary, but just so everyone knows, we're doing the whole arachnid thing again. So if you've got any
Ugh.
arachnophobia thingies, you might want to. It's a cute. It's one of those little peacock jumping spiders, you know. So it's a cute guy. So cute little guy. So let's uh let's pull this up. Get this ready to share. Um. Okay. Okay.
I know. Happy
Here goes
birthday, Teresa.
happy
Prepare
birthday.
yourself.
Cute little spider incoming.
He's
And
also
here we go.
gross.
I am gonna turn the volume off so we don't get like struck from it. But here you go.
Oh,
Or maybe I
I
should
don't
turn
like
that
this at
on.
all.
Like, why is that in there?
No, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
It's like, what you doing in there, little guy?
Oh, I
Like you
can't.
look away. I'll tell you when it's done. It's
That
like, come
won't
on out,
help my
come have a
dreams.
party. It's like let's have a little party, guy.
Teresa, I mean, Nikki, I judge you for this.
It's like, come on out. Come say hey to Theresa. Come give her a little high five. Come on. Come on. You don't need to be in there. That's not where you should be. Okay. It's over.
I was like, nope. No, I'm not what.
But yeah, we'll just go.
Teresa, he is so cute. You get out of here. I'm like,
It's like I want a little spider friend like that.
oh man, look at how he's grateful. I worked at a hospital and we would see all sorts of creepy crawlers in the ears. My mom worked at a hospital and she once said to me, she goes, I can't believe I have a daughter who's such a pussy. Because of videos like that, and I would be like, I can't, no, nope. Like it's my biggest nightmare to have something like that living inside me. Oh no.
I can. Oh my goodness! The
I would
one
have
time
to
I had a
immediately be
spider.
sedated.
I had a spider crawl on my face once while I was
Well, yeah, but
asleep.
that's on your face.
Yeah, but the thing was, okay, like I woke up. Okay, Brian, my husband, was at work. He was working a third shift. They'd called him in. He agreed to work it. And he was like, "Well, if you wake up, give me a call." And I went to bed, and then something like something woke me up, and I didn't know what it was. But the next thing I know, after I'm awake, I haven't even really opened my eyes yet, but I felt something move on my face, and I was like, "Oh my god, what is on me?" So I grabbed it and I threw it.
Oh, John.
And apparently, when I did that, it hit the wall and I killed it. But it was a spider, and it was big, and I was like, "Oh my god, that was on my face. No." It was like if it had been a cute little spider, I'd have been okay. But it wasn't a cute little spider. It was not cute. It was not little, and it was no,
But I
no.
don't. You guys, your criteria is all over the place here for when they become cute and when they're not. Because I mean, I don't want one on my face either.
No.
But if I went to a doctor and he's like, "You have a spider in your ear," I would proceed to flip out. Like, I would have to be sedated. I wouldn't handle it well.
Yeah, and there was okay. I have learned not to watch YouTube videos for things like okay, like when the kids would like get something like stuck in their ear and they didn't want to go, they were like, "No, take me to the doctor." It's like, "Okay, well let me see if there's something that I can do to get it out." So I would watch a YouTube video, and there was one time and I did, and there was a bug in a woman's ear, and I was like, "Oh god, no, that's not what I wanted to see. I just wanted to see if I could get like this piece of earbud out of my kid's ear. Like, is it okay to just grab it and pull it out?" And it's like, "Nope, nope, 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 nope." I was like, "You know what? We're just gonna go to the hospital. I'm not watching anything else on YouTube today. We're done. I'm not trying to do this myself."
I've got like the sweaty chills right now.
Yeah,
Like, if
that's
I
how I
stop
felt.
responding, I'm okay. I've just passed out for a moment.
And see, I reined it back because I know you don't do the gross stuff because man, if I thought that was gross, there's a problem. Like, whoa, no.
And Theresa, my friends play this game where they're like, can we get her to vomit or pass out from like, they just tell me gross things and I'm like, oh, I can't handle it. And they did get me to puke one time in the middle of the street. Like, we were down at a festival and they kept telling the story and I was like, you have to stop telling that. I was like, I'm close. And then I just freaking retched everywhere. And they were like,
Oh
we should
man.
walk now.
Really? Like now we should walk?
And I was like, now I'm like mad and I just puked. Like, why did you guys? And they're like, we've never gotten you to that point before. We thought you were exaggerating.
Man, that's so mean.
It's terribly cruel, isn't it?
It is. Like like I love to mess with people. Like I am a grade A smart ass. Like when I get going, like sometimes I have to really like rein myself back. But I'm not gonna do it so much to where someone, gets sick. So
Well, I mean, truly in their defense, they do get me to gag a lot. So they were like, she's just at the gagging stage.
oh my god.
But I knew I was like, I'm telling you, I'm closer than that. Like, stop telling this story. It's so gross.
Oh man. It's like, when you see those cats and they see like I don't know, like a cucumber and they jump or like something and they gag. It's like, what is going on?
I can't even like read the chat. I just read Teresa's. Oh, it's so gross.
No.
I can't even handle it.
Yeah, you know what, John, though, I have had that plight too. I've had to deal with the migraines. I have had it's weird because I've had fewer migraines but more headaches right recently. They haven't gone like full blown nuclear. Like I literally had like a room that I could go into that was just dark because my headaches were so bad. Like, and I haven't had to use that in like a long time. So, you know,
You know why? Because you're more hydrated.
yes,
That's
I am
why.
drinking all this bubble water. All the bubble water has helped.
Oh my gosh. Teresa, your birthday stream went terribly awry.
It went great to like, where are we all going? This is what happens when you let a mouse control the party. It's like no one's here was like, no, you're not having a birthday streak for us ever again. No.
I'm just going to take a reprieve from reading chat for a little bit.
Yeah, just don't look over there for a minute.
I was I can't even handle it. I was trying to tell my other friend this gross story the other day, and he goes, "The best part is how you could barely get through the story."
Oh.
Because I was going, "Who?" Uh, and it's stuff that like wouldn't bother you guys at all, but I don't know. It just grosses me out.
Yeah.
I think here's what I blame. I was like the only little girl in the neighborhood. So they would always do like gross stuff and like put gross stuff on me. And I did, Mrs. Cassandra. I had to. I was like, oh no, I can't. I couldn't look at the screen either. I almost didn't make it through. I almost had to like leave that stream.
Oh no.
I can't handle it with bodily fluids. Like, it's so gross.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, okay. They're like, when you have kids, like,
No.
not like when you're actually having a kid, but when you are a parent to a child, okay? Like, you have to get, like, kind of accustomed to the fact there's going to be things going on. So,
That's why I
you know,
don't have children. That is a
yeah.
major reason.
Yeah. Cause, like, anything could happen. Like, and it's, kids
I
are
mean, I can,
gross.
like, the blood is fine. I mean, I don't want to see it. But those other liquids, I want no part of.
Yeah.
Like,
There are a lot of other liquids.
yeah, and I don't like it. Like,
Yeah, because my kids, bless their souls, like, and you know what? Like, I have got to give props to my husband because there was one time we all got sick, and it's like he like just stepped up to everything, and I was like, dude, you didn't even have to do all of that, and he was like, yeah, I did, because like, yeah, no,
yeah.
like
He's like, it's got to be taken care of.
it's got to be taken care of, and he's, you know, he just took care of everything, and I was like, you were a stronger person than me, because like it would have totally messed me up. Like I'd have been sick in there with them. So we have biscuits.
Grace Case achieved biscuit status. Oh, I bet it does take it. See, that's how my mom was always grateful. She like did not care. But me, no thank you. See, stop talking about boogers. Those are what grosses me out the most.
Yeah. For me it's saliva.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Like if you ever want to make me angry or sick, that's the way to do it.
I know. We gotta change the
I've just
subject.
given everyone my kryptonite, so
I used to have a friend that hers were fingernails, like those grossed her out. So when we would get mad at each other, I would be like, I've got my fingernail clippers right here. And she would be like, I'll pull my hair out because I hate hair.
oh my god. It's it's like, you know, a standoff. It's like,
It
I've got
was.
yours, you've got mine. Let's go.
Please know we were not serious. We would not have done that, everyone. But it was always funny to joke about.
Yeah, like I never understood that either, John. Like it really it made I was why? Like why?
When you're like, hold on. Like that doesn't take you out of the moment.
Yeah. It's like if someone did that to me, they'd probably be getting an elbow to the face. I'd be like, why did you do that? That's gross. It's like I know we're, being intimate, but come on.
Do you guys want to hear? Okay, I do have the best story about me being disgusted. So it was my friend's wedding day, and I was maid of honor. So I spent the night at her house the night before. Maybe this will only be funny if you know me, but I don't know. Let's roll with it. So I woke up in the morning to take a shower, and in her bathroom, she had this little cabinet with like folded towels on it. So I took a shower and I just grabbed the top towel. And when I opened it up, it was covered in hair clippings. Like someone had it wrapped around their shoulders and had cut their hair and then folded the towel back up and put it back on the shelf
Oh no.
like it was clean. And I hate hair once it's free from your head. I'm disgusted by it. So I like open this, I'm like standing in the tub wet.
Oh.
And I open up that towel, and of course, like strange hair, I don't know whose it is, falls all over me. And I was like, exactly, crazy. Why did that bastard put it back?
That's just wrong.
I mean, that's just and I'm 99% certain they did not even shake it out.
Oh man.
So I had to like turn the shower back on and like take another shower. But then I'm like scared of all the towels. So,
Oh. They're all coming for you.
so when I get out of there, my friend goes, "What happened?" She goes, "I heard the shower turn off and then turn back on." So I did take a second shower. So fast forward, we go through the whole day, wedding, go through the reception, have a blast. You know what? I did miss this Cassandra. I mean, I was at my best friend's house. I like spent the night over there all the time. And I would like to say this was not her or her husband that did that. It was some other punk friend of hers. But so anyway, we like go through the whole day into the reception. Of course, I'm intoxicated, as are everyone except for our driver. So we're we're on our way home, and I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and the two guys are in like the back seat. My friend's driving, and all of a sudden I get hit from behind with something wet, like full on, full force, direct shot hits me.
Oh no.
And my arm is up on like the side of the sitting on the door. And I look over and there's like pieces of spinach. Like very clearly the hors
Oh.
d'oeuvres from the reception.
Oh
And
no.
I go, "Stuart, did you just vomit on me?" And my friend who was driving like pulls over on the side of the highway. And we look back, and Stuart has his hand over his mouth, but his cheeks are like puffed out. Like, So I started that day with hair all over me, and I ended it with vomit all over me. And every year on her anniversary, she texts me and she goes, 2 years ago today, you started the day with hair on you and ended it with vomit.
Oh,
But so I threw out that bridesmaid dress, obviously, right? Also, it was hot pink, so come on.
were you ever really gonna wear it again?
Right. And that was got like puke all over it. I'm like, garbage. And we were at a bridal store for yes, Sean, I just kept taking shower. Luckily, I was intoxicated for the vomit, so I was like, that was gross, but it wasn't like the hair was worse.
At least you didn't see it.
Well, and I wasn't naked. Like the hair was worse because I was like, whose hair is all over my body? Like that was disgusting.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was a I mean, that was a really fun wedding though. But before and after, it sucked. But I did think it was funny that she thought of me every day, every anniversary.
Well, it was just, you know.
Well, and then
Most people starting in that way.
they made the guy that puked spend the night at my house because the driver was like, I'm done with all of you.
It's like, I am leaving you here.
Yeah, she was like, I mean, because she had to like corral us to the car, you know. And then someone's puking like projectile all over the vehicle. And we get to my house and Stuart goes walking on. He goes, I think that Mountain Dew went bad. And I was like, yeah, it was the Mountain Dew that did that, Stuart.
Not all the booze.
Right.
Damn.
It is a special kind of hell, John. That poor gal. And we were like a mess because the wedding was at the zoo too. So we were like wandering around and she's like, oh my God, just get out of here. Like,
well, thank God none of you tried to go ride any of the animals.
no, I mean, you can't go that far. But like, you know, I mean, she was trying to get 3 highly intoxicated people into the car at the same time.
Oh that was probably rough.
I know, and we're egging each other on.
Oh, her poor car.
I know. Well, and she goes, what happened? I'm like, because it took a second to figure out what happened. Like, it didn't make sense where how like liquid just like spewed forth all over everyone. And then your brain caught up and you were like, oh, that does make sense. I know how that happened. Because it felt like you got like hit with a water balloon or something.
Yeah, it's like, well, I guess that makes sense.
And then you're like, oh. Then I saw the spinach on my arm and I was like, oh, I get it. I know what happened. Yeah, it was a wedding at a zoo.
Man, I would have been afraid to have a wedding at a zoo because it was going to turn into a zoo at some point, you know.
Well, they block it. I mean, you can't go everywhere like after the zoo closes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Because okay, the last time I went to the zoo was actually 'cause the Atlanta Zoo is like not all that great, so I don't like to go there. But the last time I remember going to like the zoo was when I lived in Chicago, and Lincoln Park Zoo is actually free. You can go in and you don't have to pay anything to get inside, or you know, you have to pay to park. That's the only thing they charge is parking, and it's like $10 for a carload, or it was circa 2004. So it could be higher now, but And then obviously, if you bought any drinks or anything inside of the zoo, you paid for that. But otherwise, the zoo completely free. And they would have like special things that you could do, but you had to pay for those like at night. And they probably did weddings there too. But I would be afraid of that because some of those enclosures, if they did not have them blocked off, people could get into. Like they weren't like incapable of getting into like one of the little bear enclosures if someone got really drunk and really wanted to get in there.
Yeah, you know that they send in like mountain climbers and stuff to test the exhibits to see if the animals can get out.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That that would be interesting. Because like they had like this one bear exhibit that was like I was always like afraid one of the kids was like actually going to fall down into there, and I don't know. I think they kind of had an incident there once, but I don't think anyone was actually hurt. But a kid did try to get in there, so I was always kind of worried about that place. It's like it's I get you know, but yeah, I don't know. Some of the exhibits just were really suspicious there.
I know. Well, and I mean, you're looking at it from our side too. So, and they're designed to look that way, like make it look like you can get right to the animals.
Yeah.
But from the other side, it's a different story.
Yeah.
Although one time I fed a gorilla.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Ooh, that.
I hand fed him. He ate out of my hand.
Oh, ow.
It was terrifying.
I bet it was.
First of all, let me tell I mean, he was behind bars. We had bars separating us because I would not have gone in the same room with him. And most zoos don't allow that anyway. But the guy goes, "Do you want to feed him?" And I was like, "Yeah." So he gave me a bowl of like new potatoes. And I went up to the gorilla who knew exactly what was happening. And I was holding the potato out so he could like bite it like an apple almost, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But gorillas are gigantic.
Yes, they are.
So I was like, "Here you go." And then I would be like, "Ooh, ooh." Like I was scared anytime I went to take a bite. And the gorilla, like you also can't look at gorillas like directly in the eye.
Yeah, because it's like confrontational to them.
Yeah. So he like side eyes me and he nods his head and then he puts his head back so I could drop the potatoes into his mouth.
Alrighty then.
Like he was like, "Oh, I get it. You're scared. Okay, we'll do it this way." And I was like, "What?" I mean, it was awesome. And then I had a little jar. It was like a Gatorade bottle, but I don't know what was in it. And he drank out of that for me too. But isn't that cool? Like he was smart enough. He was like, "This this broad is terrified. I'll lean my head back. She can drop the potatoes right on in."
He's like, I want my potatoes. Come on.
I know. But it was like a really profound animal moment too, because he looked at me and nodded. And it was one of the like he was like, "I got it. I get it. I get it. You're scared of me. I am gigantic."
I'm the big bad gorilla.
Yeah, he's like, "I could murder you right now. It's no big deal." He's like, "Your hand is the least of your worries, ma'am."
It's like I'm just gonna, I could just take the whole arm.
He's like, "If your arm fits through these bars, what do you think mine does?" But it was really cool. It was kind of one of those nods, Mrs. Cassandra. But I mean, it was just this nod, like it was so, I don't know, profound. I mean, he understood what was happening.
Yeah, he was reading all the cues. Animals are a lot smarter than people will give them credit for.
Yeah. Well, and it wasn't like how you credit. I mean, you could see the intelligence in their eyes. And like I know I
Yeah.
give my like pets and stuff a lot of credit, but this was like different.
Yeah.
It was cool though.
Yeah, like I swear one of the cats over here is a complete total smart ass. Like he's perfect for the family because we're all smart asses, you know? Um but yeah, when he wants to go outside, right? He'll tell you without telling you because he'll start going to the door and he'll come back and he'll look at you. And then if you don't let him out, then he'll strategically start jumping up into places he knows you don't want him to be. And if you yell at him, he stops and he'll go and he'll leave. But then he'll come back and he'll do it again. He's like, I'm going to annoy the piss out of you until you give me what I want. Like he'll constantly, okay, my husband has a shelf of action figures that he collects, right? And this morning it was storming, bad storm, right? So his little heifer ass jumps up onto the shelf and starts knocking them off one at a time, like literally looking at me and just boop, knocking it off the shelf. And I'm like, you can't go outside right now. So he jumped off and went away. So I go and pick everything up, right? 20, 30 minutes later, he comes back, jumps on the shelf again. Bam, bam, bam. I'm like, you still can't go outside. It's raining. So he jumps down and goes away. The third time, I was like, you know what? Here you go. I tossed him outside in the rain. I went and got him in like 2 minutes. He was fine. But then he understood why I wasn't letting him go outside. Like,
Dude, I had a cat that I always fed them at 5 p.m. And he would come exactly at 5 p.m. And I was like, how is this guy doing this? I mean, I get that we're on a schedule, but he would be like 5 p.m. on the dot. And then one day I had my windows open and the clock tower was going off. And I was like, that guy's listening for the clock.
yep.
Like once the clock started dinging, he would be like, dinner. I thought that was pretty genius of a little cat. He was very much Pavlov's cat.
Oh, God.
Well, I mean, it was mystifying because he was so on the dot. You know, like they'll come get you around 5 or whatever, but he was like 5 p.m. and he would stand up wherever he was and be like, let's go. And I'm like, how do you get it so like spot on every time? And he's like, I use the clock.
Okay. So, you know that the name of that dog that you just said?
Pavlov?
No. Just a second.
Don't say it again.
No. Oh. Oh, sorry. My sister was a psychology major. And they had to do an experiment where they gave a word and then you had to suck on a lemon. But she didn't have any lemons, so we had lemonade Kool-Aid, but she didn't put any sugar in it. So it was unflavored. Every time you hear the word from now on, it kind of triggers that pucker response in your mouth. And that's the word she used.
I was like, it's a clever word, but I don't know. That word comes up fairly regularly on TV and whatnot.
I know. And that's why it's like if they ever say it, I'm like, I'm done, I can't. Yeah, but still, and the messed up thing is the teacher didn't tell them that if you use the younger the person you use, the longer it's going to affect them. She wasn't supposed to use a kid to do the experiment. And I was like all of 13.
I was
It
like,
was stuck in my head. And apparently, yeah, like anytime it said, like I get like my whole mouth floods with that whole pucker sensation.
how often does that happen? Let me guess. You guys in chat, how many times a month do you think that Mousy is triggered from that? How many times a month do you hear the word blank dogs? um, I think it's more often than we think. I'm guessing 2 to 3 times a month. See, Grace guessed 1, Theresa guessed 6. See, I think it. I mean, if you factor in TV shows, but see, I think it's one of those like we don't notice that we hear it. Have you ever learned a new word or like the definition of a new word, and then you're like, this word is everywhere? How did I navigate the planet before I understood what this word meant? I had that with the word hubris. That is why I use that example.
Oh man, my cats have started again. Okay. Um, it depends on how often I hear that or how often I don't hear it. If one of my sisters is around, she'll mess with me, and it could, she could like do it 3 or 4 times a week.
But how often do you hear it just naturally occurring out in the world?
Considering I do like to watch lot of science programs, I might hear it at least twice a month.
See, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I think it pops up more than we think, like on
Yeah.
TV shows and stuff.
Yeah, like if especially if I'm watching like any of the science channels, if depending on what it is, if it's got anything to do with psychology, it will come up a lot. But if I'm just watching regular stuff, I usually don't hear it. And um
Now I'm gonna notice it. I'm gonna
there's
start doing
been
tally marks. Doop.
and like there's been times where I like would go a whole year and not hear it. And the minute someone would say it, my mouth would pucker. And like
Does it
I
get
thought,
you? Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say you and I are sitting in your kitchen and we're chatting,
mhm,
living our life. But somebody is in the living room watching TV and the word comes on in the TV, but you're not focused on the TV. Would it get you then?
if I can hear the word, yes. Like
Would
if I can
you
hear it
tune
said.
into why it occurred, or would you just know that that word happened?
I would probably notice like if I can like audibly hear it, like if like my brain hears that word, then yeah, I'm gonna know that's what caused my mouth to pucker. If it's just like rambling in the background, like it's just background noise and I can't actually hear like the full words that are being said on the TV, I probably wouldn't have a response. If that makes sense.
It does make sense, but also, I mean, because like I'll turn the TV on and then leave the room. Like I'll go be making dinner, or I don't know, go to the bathroom or go get a drink or something.
Yeah.
So you can hear the TV and you can understand the words, but if you're not focused on the words,
Yeah, if you're not actively listening for like the conversation. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I would have to actively hear it.
interesting. Now I'm like, let's dive deeper into this. Okay, let me set up a different scenario. No, I'm kidding. I won't do it.
But yeah, no, and it was really weird because, you know, my
Did she
sister was
make?
take when my sister was, doing this whole experiment and everything, and when she was done with it, I thought she was done with it. I didn't realize it was lasting her whole course. And like randomly throughout the time she was like in that class, she would have to come up and say the word to me to try to see if it would get a reaction out of me. And then like years had passed. Like I'm a kid, right? And one day we were talking and it was because like this is how I actually knew that it was still happening. And this was like years later. It was in a movie that we were watching. Yeah, that name, and it was said, and I was actually drinking something and started coughing because my mouth puckered. at the same time it was said. It was just random coincidence, like I was taking a drink of my soda. Boom, name said, almost choked. I was like, wow. My sister was like, oh my God. She was like, what happened? And then when she thought about it, and she was like, oh no. Yeah. So, yeah, that apparently, yeah, they're not supposed to use like anyone under a certain age to do those type of psychological tests on because, yeah, it sticks longer. You're more, what is the word I'm looking for?
Acceptable?
Yes. You're more, yeah, it's just going to stick in your head longer. And still to this day, like, I'm 43 now. I think I was 12 or 13 when she did it.
It's like weird lies your siblings tell you when you're little and you still, like, because my brother used to always be like, I'm going to take your brain out with tweezers through your nose. And he was like, that's how they did it in Egypt. And to this day, sometimes I'll be like, what if someone shoved these tweezers up my nose? Like,
Oh,
and that was years ago that Asa would, I mean.
yeah. It's actually like, yeah, no. But my sister would do stuff like that. Okay, I had 5 siblings total, technically 6, because my dad was married before my mom and they had a kid. So I have, okay, yeah, I guess I do have 5 siblings, and I would be 6. Yeah, whatever. Um, and my the sister that's above me in age, we don't get along. We just don't get along with each other. But she does like really mean stuff to me. So she would pick on me like that. Like, you said your brother would say he was gonna take your brain out with like a tweezer. But she would tell me stuff like, "Oh, you can't do that. You have cooties." And so yeah, she had me believe that I had cooties once, and apparently I went to school and told the teacher I had cooties, and they didn't understand what cooties was. I don't understand how they didn't know, but apparently they had. Apparently, I was so freaked out by having cooties that they had to call my mom to come get me from school. My mom had to take me to the doctor because yeah, my sister was mean. She was so mean.
All older siblings are mean.
Yeah, like okay, because she's 5 years older than me, and then my other sister is 10 years older than me, and then my brothers are like 7 years older than her, 7 and 8 years older than her, and our other sister is like 20 years older than us. So, it's like a lot of age gap there. Actually, I don't
Always
know how old,
grateful. Makes me so glad that I'm an only child. Dude, my brother was mean.
Um,
He had like a cyst on his shin when we were little, and so he had it removed, and it had like a couple stitches. And he took a red Sharpie and he colored in his whole shin underneath the incision. And then we were like playing or wrestling or something. And he was like, oh no, oh, you hurt me. And he like took his sock off and his whole shin was red. And I was like, oh my God. Like I thought I was bleeding. It was terrible. He did very cruel things.
but see, that's the crazy thing because, okay, my sister that's 5 years older than me, we don't get along. But my sister that's 10 years older than me, we get along great. Like, she was the one that took the psychology class though, and I've kind of never forgiven her for that. But it's okay. She's also the 911 dispatcher now. So, uh, but me and my other sister, we don't get along at all.
Dude, I asked my brother. I was spanked one time when I was little, and it was for something I did not do. It was something he did, and he let me take the fall for it.
Oh, that's not cool.
So, not too long ago, I asked him about it. I go, do you remember? Someone had taken the needle out of my dad's record player. Someone. He did.
Mm.
And he blamed me. So my parents were like, "Fess up. Did you do it?" And I was like, "I did not do it." And they were like, "No, you did it. You have to confess." And I was like, "I didn't do it. I'm not going to confess." And then they got to the point where my dad was like, "I will spank you if you don't tell us the truth right now." And I was like, "I didn't do it." And my dad's like, "Damn it, I've got a spanker." Like, so my brother was there the whole time, never said anything. So a couple months ago, I'm like, "Do you remember when that happened?" And my brother goes, "No, but that does sound like something I would do." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Come on." That does sound like something I would do.
Yeah. That's okay. I, I get that with my sister too. Because I was telling my kids about some incident that had happened with us, and this one incident that I told them about, my husband was actually at our house the day it happened, so he remembered it too. He was like, "Oh yeah, that totally happened." And they went back and they asked her about it, and she goes, "Oh, that never happened. Your mom's totally lying about that." I was like, "Oh, so their mom and their dad is lying about it? Okay, okay, I see how you are. I see you. I got you." But yeah, it was just funny because he was like, "No, I was totally there for that. She totally did that shit." So, and they were like, "But she said she didn't." I was like, "She did. You got two against one here." I was like, "Go ask your other aunt because she was there too."
That's awesome. You're like, "I'll tell you everything."
It's like she'll tell you everything. She won't lie to you. And my other sister did. She told them straight up, "Oh yeah, she did that." And they're like, "You didn't tell us the truth." They did, man. They were kind of sore at her for that for a while. They were like, "But you said that didn't happen. And we got three people telling us it did." So
You're
yeah,
like,
gotta love
"Listen,
family.
that's the parents' right to lie."
So yeah. Uh,
Always grateful. At least my imaginary siblings listened to me and did what I wanted to do. My real sibling did not. But I was like the littlest sister for everyone in the neighborhood, so they always made me like do all. I mean, I was like, "Cool, I'll do it." They knew just how to mess with me,
yeah,
and
that's
they
that's
still all
the
do it to this day.
that's so mean.
I
Yeah, it's like
know.
when you're like the littlest one, like you totally get all the crap.
Exactly. And you still do it. I'm like, "We're grown adults. Why do I still feel like the 5-year-old who's like, I'll do it, guys?"
Yeah, like I volunteer.
That is kind of cute, though.
Yeah. Well, oh, okay. Like the one incident. So my aunt in Texas, when we lived in Texas, like I said, I was young when we lived in Texas, younger than 5. Um, she had a pool, and we were at her house. We were swimming, and they told the kids not to let me get into the deep end of the pool, and or to get into the pool or something. They were they were told to watch me. So all the kids get into the pool and no one's watching me, and they're all in the shallow end. So what do? I walk around to the end of the pool where no one's at, and I just walked right in.
Oh, no.
Yeah, just walked right into the pool.
That's the worst.
Yeah, luckily one of my cousins saw me, pulled me out. But yeah,
It's so scary when kids do that.
yeah, it's like we told you to watch her. It's like they're like under 10 years old. What did you expect?
Well, if my friend's kid is like that, like, we're like, "You cannot just run and jump in this pool." And she's like, "Okay." And the second you do not have your hand on her, she's like, whoosh, into the pool.
Hmm.
And you're like, "No, we're not ready."
It's like you have to wait. It's like
I
nope.
know. We're
Like
like,
before
when,
you even get it out of your mouth, it's done.
like John said, my older sisters would complain that I got away with everything since I was the youngest and only boy. I did get away with a lot. I did too, John.
And see, okay, at the time that I would, that I finally came along, it's like I was just the youngest. I wasn't the only girl, but like my one sister was always like, "You get away with everything. You totally get away with everything. They give you everything." No, they didn't. They totally didn't. Like all of my clothes were hand me down from like everyone.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
come on. Like, what am I getting that you're not? Come on, please tell me.
Right.
I don't get it.
You're like, I've never had anything new.
It's like I'm roller skating with your like skates that you grew out of 2 years ago. Like, come on.
You're like, my big wheel has a flat tire, and that is brand new to me.
Yeah, and I just got it 2 weeks ago, but you had it for 4 years.
Well, and when you are the youngest, the older ones always come along and like break your stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think it's like purposeful, like tearing it up. They're just like kids being maniacs. But they would just come along, and we like played in the woods and the creek and stuff. So all our stuff was trashed.
Oh, yeah. Uh, like
I
okay, we weren't
know.
we weren't allowed to like play in the creek or anything because we had snakes around our house, but and my mom was deathly afraid of that. Or we had a lake across the street from our house too, and we weren't allowed to go down there either because we were going to die if we did. That's just how my mom was. She was like, "No, something will happen. Don't go near there." Like, so my dad decided he would get me a three wheeler, an ATV, a three-wheel ATV, and this was back in the '80s when they were still legal. And he got my sister a scooter. I think they were both Hondas. Maybe Yamaha. No, I think they were Hondas. Um, but she couldn't ever ride the scooter because she couldn't get it plated because she wasn't old enough to get a motorcycle's license. But mine was an all-terrain vehicle, so I could ride it off road,
Ooh.
which was great for me. And it wasn't like the biggest three-wheel ATV they had, but it was and it wasn't the smallest, it was like the middle size. And I was short. I was like really a lot shorter than either of my sisters. So I could like do stuff like my dad had trucks and he had okay, my dad was a house mover. So they had trucks and like
Oh yeah. Okay.
yeah, like big trucks and
Like
rigs,
box trucks and
yeah,
stuff.
box trucks and stuff. And they would not have like the actual truck attached to them and they'd have space under them. So I could drive my three wheeler under them.
Ooh, that is risky.
It is because if you were too tall, you'd get stuck, which my sister found out the hard way because they had to jack the truck up to get her out from under it.
Oh no. That's awesome though. Take that
Yeah.
older sibling down
I was like,
in
yes.
a safe way, everyone.
Yeah. Luckily, she didn't get hurt or anything, but she did get stuck. Because, like, with me, like, I could duck under the handle, like, not under the handlebars, but like between them. And she was just a couple of inches higher. So when, yeah, it like caught between her shoulder blades.
Oh man.
And luckily, she was wearing a jacket, so she didn't get hurt.
See, it's all stuff like that where you're like, what? How did we make it?
Yeah, because I didn't even have a helmet.
I know. And then stuff like that. If I was like, hey, Mousy, ride this ATV underneath this vehicle right now, he would be like, no,
Oh, that's crazy.
that is terrifying. I could get very hurt.
I was like, my bones would shatter now.
I know. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he's like, man, every year I get like more scared of stuff that used to not bother me at all. And I was like, I know, we see it all around us now. Like, he's like, I used to just get up on the roof and like hang out. And he's like, now I'm like terrified to clean out the gutters. And I'm like, I get it.
Yep, I don't get on ladders anymore. My poor knees, man. I'll fly off of that. But
I got him.
yay. Okay. Well, we've been pushing at this for 2 hours. Teresa, where you at?
Happy birthday,
Where you at,
Teresa. We
birthday
veered off
girl?
topic and made it all about us.
Sorry, Teresa.
Oh, but when we know what else we didn't do?
Oh, we got to do that real quick.
If anyone is interested, Theresa does have an Amazon Prime.
Yes, we have an Amazon Prime wish list in the description for Miss Teresa. So everyone take a look at that. No pressure or anything.
It's also in the description of this video.
Yes. Yes, it is.
But happy birthday, Theresa.
Yes, happy birthday, Teresa. And I hope you have a rest of the night that is great. It's almost midnight, but you know.
I'm sorry we couldn't give you flowers and balloons and a party in person.
Yes. Maybe when I get my RV though, we're coming to find you. It might be a year or two, but we are coming.
One day you will open your door and we'll just be standing there.
Yes. Big RV, and me, Juju, and my husband will be like, hey. Yes, in time to say goodnight.
It's not a threat. It's a fact.
Yes. We're coming for a birthday party.
But thanks for coming, everyone, and hanging out with us.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming for Theresa. We appreciate it.
Dude, John, she's going to do a road trip vlog.
Yes, I am going to do a road trip.
She's going to do Roadside America.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to do all the weird things too. We're going to be like, you know, going to find the aliens. Going to make the kids go and do the little, you know, Naruto run to, you know, find the aliens. And then, yeah, probably get arrested.
As long as you're, you know that going in. You're like, we've got a bail account set up already.
Yeah, we do have bail account. Because, yeah, we're probably going to do something jackassy. All right, everyone. I will see y'all. The Naruto. I can't say it. Naruto. No, I can't pronounce that word again. Yeah, you know this little guy. Hang on. Let's see if I can find him real quick. Yeah, let me share this little run real quick.
Naruto?
Yeah, that one. Naruto run. Yeah, the little guy. It's gonna look something like that. My kids are gonna do it. Ah!
Oh, I think there is Oreos
Ah!
tomorrow. I just haven't scheduled it yet. Because, I don't know.
Damn it, I can't find like a little like video of it.
He's her
that little
avatar.
run. Yeah. That guy. That guy run. Yeah, that one. He's gonna run. Yeah. Like, there's a 5-year-old I babysit, right? And he runs just like that guy. Like, seriously. Arms back, head forward, full on run. Craziest thing. It's like, man, kid, like, who taught you how to do that and why? It's like, why? Okay. All right, everyone. Yeah, Oreos tomorrow or some sort of Oreos tomorrow.
I'll post it early. But yeah, I'm sure there'll be a stream.
Okay. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, all. Happy birthday, Theresa.
Happy birthday. Bye.